手吧。可能是有人没扔到垃圾桶里。糖纸先生。这个真希望他们能给这个垃圾虫找个地方好好教训一下。
When they call girls females,
you can't say.
Because they don't like it. Why are you trying to call women something they don't like? Every guy is like, how do I get women? And then women are like, don't do this. And then we're like, how dare you? Including like us not wearing our hats all the way on. I was taking notes, and I don't understand why the rest of you are mad. I'm taking notes. Why? They don't like it. I wrote it in my notebook. They don't like it. I'm gonna pass the test. Y'all are failing.
Whatever you're eating right now probably shouldn't go in your face hole.
Which hole should it go in?
It goes in the square hole.
I didn't choose the suit. The suit chose me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so dumb.
I want to talk about the funniest time somebody has come up to me in public to ask if they can pray for me. And as somebody who's had their disability their whole life, this has happened a lot more often to me than you would think. This is me if getting unsolicited prayers were an Olympic sport. Anyway, for this story to make sense, I have to show you this picture of me with NBA All-Star legend Chris Paul to show you that I wear this wrist brace on my left wrist. I highlighted it for your convenience. Now it's just for stability, it's nothing important. It is the least of my problems. So a few years ago I was at the mall with my friend, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, good thing nothing terribly embarrassing is happening to me right now. Just then, two well but poorly dressed people walk up to me holding Bibles, and they say to me, "Hi, how have you been? I'm glad to see you out today." And I said, "Oh no." Now I've been here before, I know what was about to happen, so I figured I'll just go along with it, they'll say something stupid, and I'll go about my day. So I look at them and I say, "Thank you, it was a tough one today." It wasn't. It was at this point that they crouched down to be eye level with me, and I could see the whites of their eyes, which I learned growing up through my history textbooks meant I can attack, but I held back. One of them said, "Can we say a prayer for you?" And I said, "By all means, go for it." And then, in a stunning turn of events, they grab my left wrist, which has that stability brace on it, and they start praying for the healing of my wrist. Now, I am pretty obviously not 100% physically healthy. On a good day, I'm rocking like a sweet 13 to 14%. If you ordered me on Amazon, at the very least, you would look at whoever you're with and go, "Should we return it?" My lungs don't work, I have metal in my spine, I can't walk, I'm sad. So for them to single out my wrist, I was no longer upset that they were doing this to me, and now I was upset that if this were to be the prayer that worked, they've completely wasted it. They were wildly out of line for so many reasons, and for what it's worth, my wrist does not feel better.
すみません、はい、フォトグラファーやってるんですけど、はい、めっちゃおしゃれだなって思って、はい、写真撮らせてもらってもいいですか？あ、いいですよ。
So I tried to make the world's hardest treasure hunt and said that if anyone could solve it, I would paint them a massive portrait of themselves in which I had secretly hidden $788 worth of Chili's gift cards in the back. And I got absolutely annihilated by the world's smartest 19-year-old, a kid named Andy. In the treasure hunt, there was 3 challenges. The first challenge was just a bunch of 1s and 0s, and it wasn't binary, it was actually a Morse code substitution cipher, and it just gave you a bunch of random letters. But then at the bottom it said, if you need a hint, here it is, E tu Brute. And E tu Brute was the last thing that Caesar said before Brutus stabbed him, and so it was a Caesar cipher, and a Caesar cipher is a alphabetical shifting cipher. And so if you take all those letters and you shift them 3 to the right, there's a secret passphrase, which is, look at all those chickens from Vine. And Andy solved the first challenge in 19 minutes. And so I realized I needed to make the second challenge way harder because Andy was way smarter than I thought. And so I made an audio file which sounded like gibberish. But if you reversed it, it was a language from the Philippines called Tagalog. It translated to, this fish swims in the ocean, it swims in a large group. It is the color of the Russian submarine whose captain was from Scotland. 2 words. The first word has 3 letters, the second word has 7 letters. And Andy does not speak Tagalog, but he was in an airport at the time and he went around to 70 different people and just asked people, does anyone know this language? Until he found out eventually that it was a red herring, and the actual clue was hidden deeper within the audio file. And you can embed images in audio files, and Andy did a spectrograph analysis and found that it said password fresh avocado.
Del Taco, they got a new thing called free shavacado.
But I didn't say where that went, and so eventually he found a secret password protected part of my website, which he typed it in and it brought him to a blank page. But it wasn't actually blank. There was a secret white square hidden within, which he downloaded as a PNG, brought into Photoshop, and then played with the levels, figured out that there was a secret phrase that said your password is, I could have dropped my croissant. And he solved the second challenge in 2 hours. I was so disappointed in myself. So for the final challenge, I really needed to step up my game. So I made these 6 tiles that had these discolored sections on them. And if you brought all the discolored sections and rotated them, it turned into Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he says, these are not the droids you're looking for. So that was another red herring. The actual clue was these discolored sections here. And if you brought it into the 3rd dimension and then made a cube and then extruded shapes through the discolored section from both sides, and then you rotated the cube, it turned into the Vine logo. And I didn't say where that went, but he went on my Reddit, found that I had commented in a subreddit from 3 months ago. He messaged the mods with the password and then became a moderator. And once you're a moderator, you can see deleted posts. And there was 3 challenges. Number 1, do a belly flop. Number 2, sit down and take a picture where you look like a sad king. And number 3, make a half-court basketball shot. And he made it. He did all those, and he solved the final challenge in like 4 hours. And so I painted him this big portrait of himself, and it said, "And he wept for there were no more worlds to conquer," which is the line from Alexander the Great. And I took the $788 worth of Chili's gift cards and hid it in the back. The end.
Harold, you better not be eating all the cheese again. You know you'll get weird dreams.
No cheese before bedtime. Naughty.
I said no cheese before bedtime.
Oh, you! Get back here! You can't escape from the cheese police, you stinking piece of cheddar, you! Oi! Oh, they'll make me...
Imagine blowing notes to this song though. Go out gritty mid elbow. Bring it around town. Push that shit away.